I am going to kill myself. I just realized I didn't have the mic on this entire time. I recorded a 20-30 minute video and none of that was caught. None of it was caught. I'm so upset with myself. I have to do this story all over again. All over again. Are you kidding me? I'm so beyond upset. I'm so beyond upset. But let me try and do this again. Um, Crap. How do I even start over again, dude? I was just pouring my whole heart out into my mic and I didn't even do this, dude. How did I even start? Um, I was on my close friends just ranting about how I should just like start recording this stuff and putting it on YouTube. So this is such a like a this is like post gala night. Um, and the gala was great. I had a lot of fun. I was, doing the most, but not really. It was kind of boring. It was a lot of adults, but it was a charity gala. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. But the entire time I kept thinking about my ex because I was like, oh, I wish he was here. But like, not in like that way. It's just like, I had a lot of dreams with him. And sharing a moment like this would have been great. But I can't because this man is a liar and a cheater. So I'm just trying to remember what I do this. I have to get in my feelings all over again, dude. Um, I'm just gonna explain what happened, right? So I was with this dude on and off since I was 16. I've been best friends with him since I was 13. We had our toxic little moments, so that's why we were super on and off. But let me tell you, what what happened was traumatic, bro. It was traumatic because this dude, I had my hopes and my dreams and everything in him, and I guess it's my own fault, but like I wanted to marry him. And when we've been so on and off together, like so when this happened, you don't even know how trampling this has felt. Like that's like I don't even know. I don't even know. Like I feel so lost. I feel so lost. Um, so let me tell you, I gotta tell you from this. So from this year, again, we were super on and off, but I want to start from this year. From this year, I was not seeing, I was talking to some guy. He's like my close friend now, but like I was talking to some guy, and then he popped up, and I had stopped talking to him, but my ex popped out of nowhere, and he was like, "Oh, blah blah blah, I could treat you better, blah blah blah," and he's such a sweet talker, and I gave him another chance. That's my own fault, but I had told him, I was like, "Dude, if I give you another chance, if I give you another chance, you we have to be for real about this because we're adults. We're in our 20s now." We was like, "Why not, give it another chance? We're in our 20s. I need us to communicate. I need us to talk. I need us to work at these things because that was a lot of our like problems were communication and like talking our feelings and stuff like that." So we agreed and we got on again, right? Because I feel like with on and off relationships, y'all aren't gonna be like asking you, like, "Are you my girlfriend? Are you my boyfriend?" Stuff like that. You just, "Hey, are we on? Hey, let's, are we, we were on." So in my mind, you were my boyfriend, you were my boyfriend. We were together for about 8 months to like a year. I mean, let me say it's about 8 months, guaranteed about 8 months because it happened around early this year. I can't put a pin on it. We were talking later last year, but sometime with the flirting and all of us getting like being on, it happened earlier in this year. And it's like October now, right? And the official break. So to me, you were my boyfriend up until Tuesday, okay? Because it's Sunday now. You were my boyfriend until Tuesday, but anyway, um, we were working fine. We were doing everything. I feel like I have to like I'm gonna pause. I'm sorry, but I just have to explain. Like for the last couple of days, like I've been crying up until Saturday, and I've just been like I feel like I've gone to that like sanity phase where I've just been not crying, laughing. Everything's so funny to me now, but it's like Everything is just so funny. I used to be crying. I've tortured myself. I was playing like Taylor Swift, Champagne Problems, All Too Well, like um, Haunted. I was playing everything to make me cry at this point, and it wasn't even on purpose because I got back into Taylor Swift. And I was just like, I like watched the movie, and I was just like, I'm done. And then as soon as I got back into it, of course, heartbreak happened. But I was feeling so. I for the last 2 days. This is why in the last compared to the last couple of videos, I was crying my eyes and I was like bawling, and now I'm just very calm. I'm coping at this point. Um, but yeah, we were on and we were doing very well. We were talking about getting married, talking about like dates and all this type of stuff, right? And somehow in September we had like an event in August where we would be together. And I think a week prior to that, we had gotten in an argument or something because I was upset that he was not communicating with me, and he wasn't. I don't think at that point he was like he was ghosting, but he was just like I was just like getting upset. I was like, dude, please need to talk to me. And he was like, I know, I'm sorry, blah blah blah. And I'm like, you know. And then at some point I got upset and we stopped talking. And then I saw him again. I saw him at like an event that we had. And okay, so at that point I'm like, okay, I forgive you, blah blah blah. We talked, we were there, and then like during that whole event, we were talking like a freaking couple, But then I was hanging out with my friends because I keep my relationship very public. I don't like people to know, not public, very private. I don't like people to know a lot of the stuff in my relationships. Probably like only my friends, and I don't even tell them everything. But so I stayed with my friends. He stayed with his. And I remember telling him, I was like, dude, I kind of hate the fact, I know it's my own rule, but I was like, I kind of hate the fact that we can't even hang out at this event. We could have like taken like cute pictures and stuff because like, I don't want people who I know in certain situations to be asking me about my relationship, because as soon as they ask about the relationship, they're asking when you're going to get married. And even though we were planning to get married, I don't like feeling rushed. I don't like feeling pressured. So I don't want to tell anyone anything. So people were so I like stayed to my friends, I stayed by myself. Whoops. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, I stayed by myself and I just like wanted to like be, I didn't want people to know. I did not want people to know. So we stayed, but then like I was feeling jealous because there was this one friend who I've always been jealous of. Is this who is now his current girlfriend. But I was always jealous of her because when we were 13, 14, a little before we started dating, he had expressed liking her, but then he also expressed liking me. And I was like, no, you can't like us both. You have to pick one. And at that point I was like ready to like leave. I was like, no, I don't want to be around you. If no, I don't want to be like an option. I told him I didn't want to be an option. And I just all this came back to mind after I heard, you know, who he was with, but after I saw who he was with. But but he picked me at that point, and I was like, okay. Um, but I always had like a doubt in my mind about her, right? Because but then he's also like used to reassure me because he was like, I've known her since we were like toddlers, like that's like my friends, and like they also were like in the same vicinity, like moms know each other, you know. So it was bound to that happen. So I kind of just let it fly. I'm like, okay, you're reassuring me. You're telling me I have nothing to worry about. There's nothing that I saw that I needed to worry about at that point. Not the thing is, I didn't see it, but my friends did because they told me after all of this, after they saw them together, they're like they kind of look like a couple. I was like, you're telling me this now, and I thought it was funny because they knew. My friends are weird. My friends are weird because they knew that I was with him, but then they saw him with her, and they were like, "Oh, they look like a couple." And y'all didn't think to like tell me that to be like, "Hey, by the way, your boyfriend is kind of looking really coupley with this girl over here," right? So I was like, "Okay," but um, yeah, he was. It was just so interesting, and then we talked a bit after that, and then September rolled around. This was in August, and then September rolled around, and I was like, my sister had came into town, and he he got silent. He basically ghosted me because he got really silent. And this entire time, I was calling him and texting him and being like, babe, what's wrong? Because we both suffer with mental health issues. And I was like, babe, what's wrong? Like, please talk to me. I'm here for you. Calling him every night, like several times a night. Never got a call back, never got like a text back or nothing. So my whole thing is like, I don't care if you're on D&D. You saw that someone is calling you. You saw that someone is calling you. And you saw how many times they called you. I wish I had thought like this earlier, but like you saw all of this and you didn't. Why didn't I put that together? I'm so stupid. But like you would think that he would call back, right? After seeing how many times, you'd think it's important. But say la vie, he did not, obviously. And then like the month go by, I'm over here like leaving him voicemail. I'm like, babe, do you want to like come to like Six Flags with me and my sister? Do you want us to go to the movies? Like, let's spend time together. Like, I know you have a lot of stuff going on because I had talked to his family at that point. Like, one person in his family who he was kind of close with, and they're like, oh, he's just going through a lot. And like, the thing is, like, again, I should have put two and two together. I was just so worried about him. He had called the family member had called him and he called him and he was like, hey, I'm okay, I'll talk to her and whatever, right? And so I was like, okay. At that point, that's when I found out that he said that I was crazy. That hurt me, but I was like, okay. Again, I should have took it as a sign. He showed me how many times he didn't want me. He showed me, and I still did not listen because I would tell him, and he would be like, no, it's, he would be like, I don't know. I feel so stupid. I feel like this is my own fault. But he didn't never called me back, even though he said he would. And he said the family member said he's just going through a lot right now, and blah blah blah. And now that I question it, I'm like, did the family member know? I'm just over here like listening to this, and I'm like, did the family member know? Right? Like, and then if he knew, why didn't you tell me? But then I guess loyalty to family or whatever. So month the month passed, October rolled around to this Tuesday, right? Again, up until that time, I'm still calling him, still leaving him messages, still doing all of this, right? Trying to be there for him. The Tuesday rolled around. I was just on scrolling through Instagram, and obviously I'm following my boyfriend, so some of the people he follows are on my suggested list, right? The most person I interacted with. So I go, and then one of the same friend who I've been so insecure about, she popped up on my suggested list, right? And I think it's so funny because the night before I had prayed about my relationship because I'm asking, because I'm like, what's going on with my boyfriend? Is he okay? Like, please give me a sign that he's okay. Man, is beyond okay. Um, so I pressed on his like friend's Instagram. I see her bio has her boyfriend's initial on it, and I'm like, has my boyfriend, but like, I was like, oh, it's a common thing, right? It's totally fine. So I look at her story, and I think it's so funny because it was like I was meant to see it. It had it was 23 hours, so it was about to be deleted. 23 hours. I clicked on her story. I see my boyfriend, I guess her boyfriend too, they're on a date, going on a like doing these things. And I think it's so freaking funny because he would never want me to like not take pictures, but he would never want me to like post them and stuff. But it wasn't even like that because I never even he took advantage of the fact that I wanted stuff private because I never posted pictures with him. I think the last time I posted pictures with him was probably like in January when we were on FaceTime, and it was on my close friends because I don't want people to see, right? But she had pictures of him posted up on their Instagram, and she had like a highlight of him, and I'm just like, huh. I don't even want to look through the highlight because I'm gonna hurt my feelings because mm, you know, you know. So it's just like, yeah. So immediately I screenshot it, send it to my friends. I take a picture, send it to my friend, and I'm like, what the heck? And then I post it on my story because I'm dramatic, and I'm like, I'm so happy for you. I hope you rot. Immediately he sees my story and he's like, oh, you're happy for me, but you hope I rot. And I'm like, that's what you're concerned about? That's what you're picking up? This dude literally, I feel like, okay, I'm like in the, doesn't matter. It's already been a couple minutes in. But I literally I was like, how could you? You know I love you. Blah 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 blah. Like, but all of this, and he was like, I know you don't deserve this, I should have told you. I'm like, you should have told me a while ago, because we could have broken up, I could have gotten over you instead of have to find out via looking on Instagram. And he was like, I was planning on telling you, which is bull, because you're planning on telling me, really? And then he told me, oh, it happened just last week. And I was like, but she's posting that she loves you. Really, that happened last week. And he was like, I'm so sorry, you don't deserve this. And I got my closure in this sense, that only that day, where I was like, did you ever love me? Because if you loved me, you wouldn't have done this to me. And he was like, I did, and blah blah blah. Dramatics, all of that, right? So with that, I'm crying. My all my hopes and my dreams, like the person I wanted to have a future with, gone. Literally I was planning a wedding. Gone. All gone. And I'd have to live with that, right? And then I find out, like literally Saturday, it's Sunday now. I find out they weren't just dating for a week, like he said, which I didn't believe anyway. But because my friends at that point, they were like, yeah, they look like they were like together since like, anyway, find out they've been dating since like the event. And I'm like, that's kind of funny because we were talking since then. This man, every time we would pass by each other, he would like swoop me away like to get some privacy, and we would talk, or he would like brush up against me so I would know that he was, like stuff that you do when you're like, yeah. And I just think it's funny because he would do that in front of his girlfriend. So I would really like to know how long this has been going on, because has it really been like the week? Has it been 2 months? Has it been longer? Because the entire time we were together, you were literally talking about giving me babies and stuff like that, and us getting married and all of that. So not only were you cheating on me, you're also cheating on your new girl. So you're cheating on both of us with the same people. With this, probably they could be happy. He could have more. I'm like, and he always plays this "woe is me" card. So it's like, I really would like to know, and it's like, I want to tell her, I want to so bad, but then it's also like, I don't want any drama, because he's such a nasty person that he would do something that could like get me into some type of harm. So it's like, I don't want to tell her, but I want her to find out, because I want to be like, hey, by the way, your boyfriend was also cheating on you with me at this time. And the thing is, like, I still deem him my boyfriend. He was my boyfriend until Tuesday when I officially found out, because that was my impression. You were my person this entire time. So yes, I think you were cheating, and I still think it's cheating, because it's like, you didn't properly break up with me. You were my boyfriend, you know. But like, it just hurts because it's like, with the person that he did it with, there's kind of like history there, where it was like I think I explained it, but it was like, I was so insecure about her, but I always had to be like, no, they're just friends. But I was so insecure about her, but I should have trusted my gut feeling. I should have, because literally a month before, I got like a gut feeling, and I have like a radar for him. Like, even when I don't know that he's in a room or something, I know. So I had like this gut feeling, but I kind of pushed it down because my sister was there, and I didn't want to like involve her in whatever I was going through. But I was just like, something feels off. And I was right, Avi. But it's just like, I want her to find out, and I want him to be alone, because how could you do this to not only me but to another person, another girl, and you're like, oh, I love me, I love her, and all that. Speaking of, okay, this man wants to tell me, because I was like, how did this even happen, right? Because I was like, obviously I want to know. I have questions, because this entire time you're over here with me telling me you love me, that we're gonna get married, that you're looking for an apartment, for right, right, all of this you're telling me, and then I find out that you're with this whole other woman. How did this happen? He tells me, oh, I was going through a bad mental health thing like a couple months ago, and I wasn't doing certain things, and I was like, okay. Again, this whole time I'm over here, I've been calling you, I've been texting you, I've been trying to get a hold of you and all that, right? You want to tell me that, oh, Kay, that's what I'm going to call her, Kay was there for you? And I'm like, What do you mean? Because so was I. I was there for you. I was calling you. I was texting you. I was trying to comfort you. You just chose not to and let me be there. You chose not to let me be there. And I would have rather you much spit in my freaking face and tell me I don't want you. I don't know, maybe I need the bluntness of it instead of the signs of you straight up showing me, because I'm like relaying this back to myself and I'm like, he obviously did not want me. But like I listen to words. I am so stupid. But like he would like I would call him out. He would tell me how she was there for him, and when he was going through this like this mental health phase, and he was just like going through it, and she was there, and I was like, but so was I. I try to be there. You just never let me be there for you, and I wanted to be there for you, and all of that. And all he could say was sorry, and I'm just like, you can't say sorry. I was there. I was your girlfriend. I loved you. I cared for you. I did everything for you. Everything I did was for you. Was for us. But you chose her. You chose her, and it's like I can't be upset that you chose somebody else, obviously, but I can't be upset that you didn't tell me that you chose somebody else, and the fact that I found out the way I found out, and then you want to be like, oh, I was gonna tell you when, because obviously it was 2 months. It's been a couple months while we were still together. You were not telling me nothing, and it's not the first time you've done that to me before. I always have to find out about stuff major from you, not from you, but from somebody else, and it's like, why not just tell me to leave you alone? Why do I always have to get hurt by you? And it's my own fault for like putting myself in that situation. But it's like all this time I'm like, you're telling me she was there for you, but so was I called, I texted, and then he was like, oh, but I never see you as often. I'm like, really, because I'm like, every time I have tried to see you, you always tell me not to come. He's using all these excuses. He's like, oh, I don't see you. I see her like twice a week, and I see her like this and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, that's such crap, because I live in the same area as him, in the sense when I'm at my aunt's house twice a month for a week. I'm here for a solid week, um, twice a month. So if you want to talk about I only see her twice a month, that's such crap, because my aunt lets me use her car, and every time I ask you to hang out, you're always like, I have work. I have Aw, cute. You're like, I have work. I'm really tired. I don't feel like socializing. That was the last thing he told me, because I wanted him to hang out with my sister and I when we were here again. And he was like, I don't feel like socializing. I spend so much time here. I basically live here. This is my room. I have my own room, my TV, my laptop, my bed, my closet. I live here. So you want to talk about, oh, I only see you twice a month. I asked you to come. I could literally used to show up to your job. I stopped doing it because I didn't want to like interrupt you during your job and get you fired. But I used to like come to your job so regularly just to like show up and be like supportive and be like, how are you, baby? No. Every time I'd ask you to hang out, the only time you ever wanted to hang out was when we go to the theater and you would make out and touch my ass. um, but yeah, anytime I asked you to hang out, there's always an excuse. But you would always like, you know, so you can't say she was there for you and that you see her more often, because you see me. You could have seen me just the same. Again, you just didn't want me to. You pushed me away, right? And it's like, again, it's like my own fault, because I should have seen the signs and I should have like been like, okay, I guess we're done. But to me, it does not matter, because we were still together. You never properly broke up with me. You never properly said anything. So how the hell was I supposed to know? Because you're still my boyfriend. So I don't know. I guess we'll hear forever. Maybe I'm freaking crazy and there's nothing freaking wrong with what he did, but I feel very wronged, and it's just like, yeah. But the whole point of this video was I wanted to make like a healing thing where it's like daily I just update myself on how I'm doing post break, and just see how long I can go without crying, because I cried for like from Tuesday to Friday. Yeah. And then I found out the Friday night, which I count as a Saturday. I find out, and I've been laughing. because I don't know, like I don't know where the laughter comes from, if it's from like, wow, I've been duped, I'm so stupid, or wow, he's playing us both, which isn't like haha funny, but it's just like wow, you know, because you I'm fully realizing the type of person this man is. Like I love this man so much, and he can do this to people. I really hope it's just like a misunderstanding. He actually isn't cheating on her, because I do want him to be happy and I don't want to hurt the other girl. But it's also just like the fact that you could do this to people. Like, how do you become that type of person? For someone who has like three sisters and a mom, and who's seen your sisters get played multiple times, just for you to do the exact same thing to other people, what type of person are you? Really? Like, I cannot understand. Like, I get that you're like, you have problems and stuff, but like, this is beyond problems. This is like, seek some help, talk to someone, because what are you doing? You are ruining people's life. Well, let me not say ruining, but you're hurting people unnecessarily, when you just need to fix yourself, you know. Like, you had someone who loved you and cared for you and did everything for you, and you threw that out, right? You probably have that again with someone else, someone that you actually want this time, right? You have that, but then I don't know. Like, you started your full on relationship lying, because you probably told you didn't even have someone. For all you know, you probably thought you were done with me. That's probably too. Like, I'm just realizing that you probably thought, oh, I'm done with her. I probably wasn't even on her mind or something, like, you know? That's what I'm thinking too. I'm like, I probably wasn't even a second thought to him. So to him, he's like, oh, I don't even have a girlfriend. And I'm over here like worrying about my boyfriend being like, oh, he's fine, you know? So he probably was like, oh, no, it's nothing. But then again, you're over here apologizing, telling me, begging me for forgiveness, like all of these things, because it's like literally we stopped talking like on Tuesday, and then he deleted one of my notes. We had a shared note together, and it had like a year's worth of memories, and obviously I want to look back on that and like grieve it and everything. He deleted it, and I got so upset, and I posted it, and I was like, how could you delete my note and all these type of stuff, right? And I wasn't even on socials like that, but like, because I knew he was watching at that point, I was like, how could you delete that? How dare you? Blah blah blah. And after I posted that, he was like, he gave this long speech. It was just such bull. It was such bull to go through. I didn't deserve it, and I wish I was told, so I could grieve and I could move on, instead of having to go through that thing over and over again. You know, I didn't deserve that. I did not. If that was anything he was right about, I did not deserve that. I deserved better, and I'm gonna get better now. But I'll always kind of because despite him hurting me, I will always look for pieces of him in people. But I really hope that doesn't like make me end up with D bags. But this is getting very long, so whoever watched, thank you. Um, that was day one of Healing Diaries. Yeah, Healing Diaries. Okay, goodbye.